It is the Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast invading, mouthing off with Mike's YouTube channel. And this is all a big ruse to promote Boom Broadcasting. Boom Broadcasting will be the new home. I am excited to announce the new home of Drop the Mic, of Out of Pocket, and so many other different shows. And I'm also excited to announce that one of the guys who is going to be joining Boom Broadcasting in this new endeavor is Shawn Lucas. Shawn's also going to be doing a wrestling podcast, so excited to have him on the show today. And I wanted to bring somebody else on who, will always keep it real. And if he is anything, he is a learner. Some might even call him a branch. We got Wayne Thomas.
Learn a tree.
We're like 90 seconds into this. Oh my goodness. We are not cutting that out.
Mike,
can you
as a listener of podcasts for over 20 years, I just want to let you know to make sure your voice is loud and clear.
Thanks, guys. Oh my guys, this is 2:00 on a Wednesday afternoon, and we are on Mouthing Off with Mike. And what sage advice from a guy who's been listening to podcasts for over 20 years, the branch, Wayne Thomas, sitting under the learning tree of Chris Jericho. And we have a really great episode for you guys. And so you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, my personal TikTok, and subscribe to Mouthing Off with Mike's YouTube channel for all the stuff he's doing. He's doing a lot of work behind the scenes for Boom Broadcasting. So while he's working on that today, I'm going to be hosting a real wrestling podcast here on his own YouTube channel. And before this podcast goes on to Boom Broadcasting's YouTube channel, which you guys should go subscribe. There's a lot of people who've already subscribed so far. I know yesterday we were up in the 70s already of just how many people are excited for this YouTube channel. But guys, I was excited about Jacob Fatu. There were rumors that he had signed WWE, but no sign. We had Tama Tonga come in. We had Tonga Loa. And then all of a sudden on Friday SmackDown, out of the blue, Jacob Fatu saved Solo Sikoa from a beatdown at the hands of Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and WWE champion Cody Rhodes. Now, Branch Wayne Thomas, you're a Cody guy. What did you learn on Friday's episode?
That was fun, but they're still doing this thing where Cody just continues to be weak. He's supposed to be champion. It's one thing after another, and we'll see how long it's going to last. But what a heck of a premiere for that guy. It was awesome. I mean, Cody said he broke 3 ribs. No doubt in my mind, that's a big dude to fall on you.
Dude, if that is a legit rib injury, that is insane. Shawn, you're like me. We're Bloodline guys. We throw our ones to the sky. You're even wearing Bloodline colors today. So Shawn, I had to wash this shirt from yesterday because I wore it for Out of Pocket, and then I'm like, man, I gotta go get a shower, and then I gotta go do laundry because we're going to do AEW Forbidden Door predictions towards the end of this episode. But Shawn, when it comes to debuts, Jacob Fatu, I think, is personally up there with some of the best.
It's in the top 5, top 10, no doubt. I mean, they did a good job with keeping him hidden from the bloodline for so long. And it made you start wondering, is he going to come back when Roman comes back inside with Roman? Triple H has done an outstanding job with just taking the slow road, letting the storyline build. Because it caught me off guard on Friday night. When he was sitting in the corner of Solo Sikoa, sitting in the corner like, don't beat me up, don't beat me up. I was like, oh man, here we go. They got him. And then he just pops in like that, wrecks havoc, tears the house down, and it just gives the bloodline that new life where now it makes you start wondering who else is going to come and join. So I think he did very good with just keeping steady, holding off the gas, and just letting it build up to the right moment. And no better place to do it, Chicago. Always a hot crowd up there.
Yeah, it was pretty great. It was also great to see CM Punk get a taste of his own medicine, because if you watched Drop the Mic last week, I was still livid. I'm still livid right now. Just talking about CM Punk costing Drew that opportunity in Glasgow, Scotland. And now it's made me lose all hope for hometown heroes, because it seems like it never happens in WWE anymore. But Friday SmackDown, Drew McIntyre attacked CM Punk after Drew had quit last Monday. We didn't know if Drew was going to take a little break, apparently. And then Drew came back on Monday's Raw to send a little warning to CM Punk and even wear the bracelet of Larry and AJ on his wrist. Wayne, you and I have talked privately through text and everything. You're a fan of this story. I think they could have gotten there any other way, but after seeing what transpired on Friday's SmackDown and Monday's Raw, where do you see this ultimately ending up?
It has to be a major match. I mean, this feud is just too good. It's got to be Hell in a Cell. That's the way I look at it. If we're not going to Hell in a Cell with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, where are we going with this? It has to be brutal. It has to put an end to it once we get there. It's got to be something different and something big. I mean, this rivalry is one of the hottest rivalries we've seen in a very long time, and it's just got to end on a big note. And I think Hell in a Cell bring it back.
Hell in a Cell would be very fitting for this rivalry. Shawn, we've seen wrestlers have like trilogies. I mean, you had Cody and Roman have a sequel. Like you've had Roman and Jay several times. You had Drew and Randy back during the pandemic. Like it's no strange thing that wrestlers fight at 3 big pay-per-views. Do you see this going to 3 big pay-per-views and ending in Hell in a Cell? Or do you think they just have one big payoff match for this?
I think they want to stretch it out. But, that's one thing Triple H has been good with now since taking over the creative and helping out is stretching storylines out. I think they want to give a regular match, one match on one pay-per-view, and end it somewhere at a bigger one with a Hell in a Cell. Because, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Taker and Mankind, Nick Foley's feud back when it ended Hell in a Cell. It kept building from the Boiler Room match to the one-on-one match to the ended Hell in a Cell, which is probably still is the best Hell in a Cell match ever to me. But I think that's where it's going. Only thing that I didn't like about this storyline, because I'm a big fan of it, is I thought, and I mean, this just me armchair booking my own self, writing my own booking for WWE. I really thought when Drew walked out and quit the other Monday that he was going to show up in about another couple weeks, like in TNA somewhere. Say, hey, I quit WWE. I'm in TNA. Because, they've been doing good with that little mutual partner agreement to just show that, to really give it some more fire. Then come back to WWE and attack Punk. But, I guess sometimes you can't get everything you want. And I am glad they got a partnership. But it's definitely in Hell in a Cell with these two.
Shawn, that was such a great idea. Wayne, I don't mean to cut you off, but before Wayne brings up his thoughts, I gotta go give Shawn this pencil. So Shawn, if you want to take this pencil right here, really, really appreciate that. Wayne, you seem to have thoughts on what Shawn just said.
I actually told my wife that when he quit, I said he's gonna end up on TNA. I mean, he's just gonna do it. And I thought he was gonna win the championship there. And WWE was going to give him a little something instead of just having their guys come over and lose some fights. But I think Shawn had a great idea with that,
dude. And I think that would have been great. It's not winning the World Heavyweight Championship in Glasgow, Scotland, on a premium live event, but it would have been a nice consolation prize. No dig at TNA right there, but I still think WWE missed the ball on that. And we'll look back in, 4 or 5 years. And even with, what happened at Clash at the Castle back in 22 with Roman. Like, people thought Drew was going to win it. And of course, Roman went on to have an historic 1,316 day reign. And I'm a big fan of Roman. Want to give a special thought to him yesterday, announcing that his father Sika had passed away, WWE Hall of Famer. That was tough news. Roman's been through a lot with his brother passing a few years ago, going through leukemia twice. And then this news, like, he is a true warrior and true hero that a lot of people can look up to. So really, really wish Roman would get back on our screens, but understandably during this time, needs to spend time with his family. So we're still thinking of him. It's tough, but like that 1,316 day reign was worth it. But I think we'll look back at, like, man, Drew could have won it at Clash at the Castle 1. He could have won it at Clash at the Castle 2, most certainly. And it's not going to happen. Instead, Damian Priest is still the World Heavyweight Champion. Seth Rollins came back, and Priest actually challenged Seth Rollins, saying, hey, I want to defend my World Heavyweight title against you. You were the standard for 316 days as World Heavyweight Champion. And now what's happened is Seth Rollins has raised the stakes. Rollins has said that if he loses, he will never challenge for the World Heavyweight title again. Does Rollins need a championship? No, he doesn't. He is solidified in of himself. But if Rollins does win, Damian Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. And I know the stakes are high for this match, but I don't know. This didn't hit well with me, guys. And here's why. You almost give away the result of this match by putting those stakes on the line. I feel like they've pushed Priest a little further away from Judgment Day to stand out on his own. And I feel like you're never going to give Seth Rollins, you're never going to take that opportunity away for him to challenge for the World Heavyweight title, just because he is so reliable in that spot. So, Wayne, I don't think they should have made that stipulation, but that's just me. Is that you too?
Yeah, I agree. And actually, before it happened, I thought Damian Priest was going to beat Seth Rollins. And I thought that because I thought that was going to give Damian Priest a clean match where he was going to beat a legitimate champion. And then he can say, look, he had a good reign. But once they put that stipulation, we all know what's going to happen, and I love Rollins. I think he's on my top 10 greatest of all time. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a modern day Shawn Michaels. I love Rollins. But to give Priest that little bit of legitimacy and have that reign that he should have, I thought beating Rollins would be fantastic for him, but it's not going to happen now.
And so unfortunate, because that would have been a perfect opportunity to establish Damian Priest as, like, hey, he wasn't a transitional champion. As a matter of fact, like, he was able to beat Rollins. And yeah, I'm assuming Gunther wins at SummerSlam. But Shawn, it's looking more and more like they gave away the winner and Gunther would be wrestling Seth Rollins at SummerSlam.
They gave it away. I was a little disappointed because, like you guys, I wanted Damian to have that one solidified win on his resume. He got the Drew one, but to get Rollins would have been the one that everybody could look and say, okay, they're taking this guy serious holding the title. Because we know if he gets to SummerSlam with Gunther, Gunther's going to win that. The writing's on the wall. They want to go that route. But when Rollins had that stipulation, I said, okay, they're going Rollins and Gunther. I think everybody saw last night they're going Rollins and Gunther for SummerSlam because I guess they feel like that would be a more money draw fight for SummerSlam. But I really think it was bad for Damian because I really wanted Damian at least to get to SummerSlam with the title and lose to Gunther. And then you could look back and say, hey, good reign, good wins in his reign. Was not a transitional champ, was somebody, a well-deserved champ in this title, with that title.
Yeah, and I feel like Damian Priest has had a good reign as World Heavyweight Champion, even if it does end at Money in the Bank a week from Saturday. We have Forbidden Door this weekend that we'll talk about here in a few moments. And then, of course, next week when we're on our new home of Boom Broadcasting, that YouTube channel will be highlighting Forbidden Door and then previewing Money in the Bank. And we'll talk more about the ladder matches and who's going to be the next Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank, because Priest won his World Heavyweight title through that pay-per-view, all starting last year when he won the briefcase. But guys, this Monday Night Raw was so eventful because not only was that stipulation made for Damian Priest, but Judgment Day was very eventful. Like Liv kept getting closer to Dom. Liv had a little locker room segment with Finn Balor, but she ends up convincing R-Truth to put the World Tag Team Championships on the line in the main event. And as soon as I heard Michael Cole say it was the main event, I was like, wait a minute. Are they making the switch now? Or is Judgment Day getting these tag titles again? Of course, it's been Finn Balor and Damian Priest in the past, but JD McDonough slides in there, and Balor and McDonough are now the new World Tag Team Champions, closing out Monday Night Raw and ending the reign of R-Truth and The Miz. And, you know, we all three have talked about how entertaining Awesome Truth has been this tag title reign. Were you upset to see them drop the title, Shawn?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I feel like Awesome Truth. I've enjoyed the reign. Truth needed that big win at WrestleMania. Everybody's been waiting for that. He got it there. But I felt like the 74-day reign had ran its course. And I felt like if you want to make Judgment Day with Liv now playing a very critical role in coming and getting involved with them, if you want to make them legit, just like what I put on Twitter last night, it's good when everybody in the camp has some goal. You look at the NWO, the Bloodline, the Four Horsemen, DX, all those factions had gold to solidify everybody. And I mean, you know, you need to give a title to JD. And the tag title is good. JD has been the workhorse for Judgment Day over the past 3-4 months. So you needed to kind of reward him. Yes, he took a bunch of losses, but you need to reward him. So I felt like it was good. I hate to see it in, but I think they made the right decision last night.
Okay. Shawn liked the decision. Wayne, did you?
I agree with Shawn. I actually posted on my Facebook earlier how much I appreciate JD. I think he's one of the best sellers in the company. I mean, that guy takes some bumps. He's fantastic. Yes, he loses, but it's going to be entertaining when JD's in the ring. I mean, that guy, he deserves to have his first title in the main roster. So I'm excited for him. I thought it was great for the story. I'm excited to see what happens with it. I think we know where it's going, but it's fun to watch.
Wayne, where is this going?
I think it's going to be Rhea and Damian breaking off, and then I think Liv and Finn and JD and Dom are going to have their own little Judgment Day fraction. I think it's going to be the Terror Twins with Rhea and Priest, and we'll go from there.
Shawn, that sounds like a sick idea.
It does, and I was thinking today myself that how would it be if Dom keeps running from Liv every week? Finn is the puppet master behind Liv. Finn turns on them and said, I've been using Liv to get the Dom, to get the U Priest, so that now I can set myself up to be the leader of Judgment Day. And they keep Priest out. And it'd be kind of like Finn and Liv be the whole puppet master running this whole thing, whole little opera.
Well, and that's interesting because, like, I mean, last year it was all like, who's leader of Judgment Day? Who's leader of Judgment Day? And they're like, we're all equals. But Finn Balor came in to Judgment Day as the most decorated star in that group. He even came and replaced Edge. So it was like, okay, it's almost natural that Finn would step up in that leadership role. And then it was like, more about Rhea. And then Damian Priest won the world title. So it was more about Damian, and Dom is getting all his attention from Rhea and then Liv. And, you know, you bring in R-Truth, who, you know, was a big part of Judgment Day, even in his own mind. And then you had JD McDonough and Carlito trying to earn their stripes in Judgment Day. And Finn Balor, like, I mean, you ask most people who's the most forgotten about member of Judgment Day, it's Finn Balor. So if he can like craft a way to become the leader and kick the two most dominant people out in terms of Priest and Rhea, that would be huge. So it'd be interesting to see what happens Judgment Day moving forward. And if Shawn wants to hand that pencil back to Wayne and get his writing right there. The pen and pencil is getting passed around here on Drop the Mic. But before we get into Forbidden Door, and there was a lot on Raw that happened over 3 hours, and we don't have 3 hours on Drop the Mic. Guys, this Wyatt Six group, I wasn't entirely convinced about their debut last Monday on Raw, admittedly, like it was out there. It was good. Like you didn't know where they were going with Chad Gable being the one attacked, and you still don't, honestly. But watching that video of Bo Dallas getting interviewed by Uncle Howdy, that made it real. And it touched something. And people always ask, like, oh, why you like wrestling? And they use the F word and not the other 4-letter F word you're thinking about, the one that's much more offensive to wrestling fans. They call it fake. And I'm like, it's not fake. It's entertainment. Like these guys are putting their lives and their bodies at real risk for our entertainment and telling us stories week by week by week. And oftentimes it's like day by day by day because it's encapsulating our entire world, our entire universe we're sucked into. But last night, Uncle Howdy interviewing Bo Dallas, and Bo Dallas is like persona being Uncle Howdy. They're the same person. And it was hitting the questions of something that's transpired in real life, mentioning yesterday on Out of Pocket, the 10-month journey I've been on with my health, getting that clean bill of health, file doctor's appointment yesterday, knocking that out of the park. But 10 months ago, Bray Wyatt passed away unexpectedly. And the stuff that family's been through is just unheard of, unseen. And the fact that Uncle Howdy was like, hey, we have to address the elephant in the room of like, what do you feel about people saying that you're exploiting your brother's legacy? And it just hit. Like, I still haven't watched the Peacock documentary because it's so hard. Like I got Bray Wyatt stuff here on my wall. I got Bray Wyatt behind me right there in the action figure form. Like it started to sink in last night that Bray isn't here to see what this would become. And it's so sad. Wayne, how were you affected by the promo on Monday Night's Raw between Uncle Howdy and himself, Bo Dallas?
I thought it was fantastic. And I'll admit, I'm new to this era of wrestling. I just started watching again about a year ago. I was a big WCW guy, and when Vince McMahon bought out WCW, I stopped watching for 20 some years. I would watch a little bit here and there, but I didn't follow it a lot. So I didn't get the pleasure of watching Bray Wyatt. I wasn't familiar with him all that much. So it's all new to me. But for being a new viewer and seeing that and feeling that emotion and getting why they're doing what they're doing, it made it real for someone who doesn't know exactly what's going on, So for a new fan to see what's happening and why they're doing what they're doing and seeing the honor, I mean, nobody knows what it's like more than his brother, and for people to even make the assumption that they're just using it to sell or whatever like that, that's real stuff. That's his brother, and he knows what he's been through, and he knows why he's doing what he's doing, and why the storyline is so important to carry out Bray's vision of what he wanted to do. I mean, it's whether you're a wrestling fan or not, whether you're a new fan, everybody gets that emotion. I mean, it captures everybody, and they did a fantastic job of starting that origin for us to see where the Wyatt Six is heading to.
And Shawn, it's interesting because it's like, okay, if this was all Bray Wyatt before he passed, and then he passed, and then Bo Dallas just stepped in, like I could see where that would be criticism, but Bo Dallas was a part of this from the get-go. Like he was Uncle Howdy, and like they were doing this together, and Bray had convinced WWE to bring Bo back so that they could do this together. It's horrible that we're not going to be able to see two masterminds work together. What'd you think of them, addressing their real stuff on Monday?
Well, hats off to WWE. First of all, the production of that was outstanding, impeccable. But hats off to them being able to, like Brent Wayne just said, tie the story back in. And that's one thing WWE is always good about. I mean, I watch AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, NWA, MLW, Reality Wrestling. I watch anything that we can get. But WWE always finds a way to tap into that sentimental side of the storyline to get you invested into it. And last night was another great example of having Bo answered those questions that people were already putting out there on social media. You're killing Bray's legacy. WWE's only doing it to sell Bray Wyatt merchandise. No, it was something that they already had established and that Bo was carrying on as Uncle Howdy. So I think they did good with it last night. And I think it got more people invested in that storyline as it continues to build.
Yeah, it's I'm excited. I'm after yesterday or after a couple nights ago, watching Raw. I was like, okay, I'm bought in. Let's go and let's get to it. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be on Mouthing Off with Mike today, invading his channel while he works on Boom Broadcasting, getting that launched next week, July 1st. It's a Monday. Out of Pocket will be moving there. Drop the Mic as well. Sean's got a wrestling podcast. We got great advice from the Learning Tree. Wayne Thomas, a listener of podcasts for 20 years. What a fantastic introduction. If you missed it, you can go back and watch the first couple of minutes. I cracked after like 90 seconds, which has never happened on a podcast before. But we'll be talking about Money in the Bank next week on Drop the Mic, but we'll also be recapping Forbidden Door because right now we get AEW Forbidden Door picks right here. And we mentioned he's the Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is actually wrestling. Chris Jericho, the Redwood Big Bill, and the Bad Apple Brian Keith is in a triple threat, a trios match against Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. Guys, we're going to run through this card. Give me your picks. How you see this going down. Wayne, do you think the Learning Tree comes away teaching their opponents a lesson?
I do. It does not end with this match. It ends with Jericho and Hook, with Hook winning back his championship. We're going to get one more win from Jericho in the Learning Tree so everybody can whine and cry and say how much they hate Jericho. But you love it. We all love it. He's the Learning Tree.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Sean, did you know that it's good to side with the Learning Tree?
I did, and that's why I'm siding with the Learning Tree for this match.
Yes.
They're going to get one more win. Like Brett Wade just said, the story is Jericho and Hook, but what a way to keep building this on.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, we're on Mouthing Off with Mike for one more week before we launch Drop the Mic on Boom Broadcasting. And the other Mike, I kicked him off. I figured Shannon had allowed him into his own channel last week. I can trust Sean. I can trust Wayne that Mike isn't going to pop up in here and diss on Chris Jericho.
Respect Chris Jericho.
Okay, just making sure he wasn't going to pop up because I do not stand for the other Mike's Jericho hate. But going on with this, Money in the Bank, we'll be talking about that next week on Drop the Mic. But we got a ladder match happening this weekend, and it's for the vacant AEW's TNT Championship. After Adam Copeland's unfortunate injury, we got Konosuke Takeshita, we got Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and somebody to be determined, presumably tonight on Dynamite. Sean, who do you think walks away with this TNT Championship?
I want to say Mark Briscoe, but I'm changing my pick live on the air, guys. Jack Perry.
He's got Jack Perry. And that's my pick too, actually. I honestly thought they were going to hand the TNT title off to them as the Elite being the EVPs. But, the Wish version of Adam Pearce, Christopher Daniels, popped in and said, no, I'm not letting that happen. Wayne, who do you think takes the TNT title off the rung?
I'm taking that pencil back, and I'm going to – so here we go. I think it's going to be Perry. Unless that last person is Alan Darby, which would be Darby Allin. I'm sorry, which would be fantastic. But I believe it's going to be Daniel Garcia, so I'm going Perry.
Okay, he's going Perry, unless it's Darby Allin for whatever reason.
Just to be born in Perry's side.
Well, and Shawn mentioned earlier when we were talking about gold being on Judgment Day, and solidifying a faction, I feel like the Elite need that right now. Okada's got the Continental title, the Young Bucks got the tag titles. Jack Perry needs a title, especially that he's probably one of the least accomplished four pillars on that group between him, Guevara, Allen, and MJF. I think Jack Perry needs this more than anybody else. And somebody who's not going to walk away with just one title, but two titles, the AEW TBS title and the New Japan Strong Women's title on the line. Stephanie Vacour versus Mercedes Moné. I'm probably butchering that name just like I butchered Wembenyama's for quite some time. By the way, NBA draft is tonight. Talked about that yesterday on Out of Pocket with Shane Smith, with Brett Wiseman. Mike was also on that episode a little later, talk Top Rope Tuesday and some WWE stuff. So my wrestling fans will enjoy that. We are going to be back Out of Pocket tomorrow on our socials to recap tonight's round one. And then we'll be live streaming during round two tomorrow. But Mercedes Moné, Stephanie Vacour, winner take all. Mercedes Moné had to drop this opportunity for the Strong Women's title against Willow Nightingale last year. And now she finds herself in a spot where she can actually compete for the title. I don't see a scenario where Mercedes Moné loses. Shawn, what do you think?
She don't lose. Show me the money. Mercedes Moné.
Yeah, making it rain. And I don't know if money raining is good for a learning tree. Wayne, how do you see this going?
I agree. Moné's taking it.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Also, as well as MJF, and again, another name I'm going to butcher, Hechicero, if somebody can correct mine. But honestly, it doesn't matter who MJF is wrestling. Do we all agree MJF's winning this match?
Easy.
Yep.
Wayne?
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. MJF's winning this match. Interesting, though, I did want to bring up, he's not wrestling Roosh. And I don't know why, because they've had a little spat before. Wayne, do you think they picked the right opponent for MJF at Forbidden Door?
It's an interesting opponent, that's for sure. It surprised me, but I'm sure it's going to be a fine match. But yeah, I agree. I would have liked it for another Roosh match, but it is what it is.
Shawn, did they miss the bow on the opponent?
Yeah, they missed the bow on it, but it's MJF, so we're going to end up walking away with a good match. Anything MJF touches is gold.
Honestly, and it is in New York, so they're playing off his hometown. This, I want to say MJF wins, and he should, but I wonder how the Undisputed Kingdom is going to get involved. Maybe afterwards attack MJF and reignite that feud, and we'll probably be down if Adam Cole's healthy enough for a showdown. Adam Cole MJF 2 at All In Wembley a little later on. But that's one of the matches. Another match that we get is Timeless Tony Storm. Shawn's a big Timeless Tony fan. Mina Shirakawa. And it's interesting to note Mariah May is going to be listed at ringside in support of both participants. There's been a little something going on between Mariah and Mina. And then, of course, Mariah's been the understudy and the valet for Tony Storm during this TBS title reign. Interesting stuff that we're seeing. Wayne, do you think Timeless Tony holds on to this title?
I think she holds on, but I think it's not over between Mariah and Mina. I wouldn't be surprised if Mariah, after the match, leans a little more towards Mina. I think they're going to start building up Mariah turning on Tony. Obviously, that's coming, in my opinion, with the Owen Hart tournament. But we'll see.
We'll get into that Owen Hart tournament right here next. But Shawn, you think your girl Timeless Tony stays champion?
Timeless Tony is the reason why I'm a big fan of AEW, besides FTR and the Elite sometimes. The title stays at Stage 7 of Warner Studios with Timeless Tony.
Okay. It's I think Timeless Tony keeps this belt. Usually these Forbidden Door pay-per-views, you don't see New Japan or CMLL people take titles away from AEW talent, but still going to be an incredible evening. We don't know what's going to happen with the Owen Hart Cup for the women's yet. We don't know who's in that match unless I'm mistaken here. But we do know the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round matchup. Bryan Danielson, Shingo Takagi. If you are not familiar with Takagi's work in New Japan, I'm sure if you follow the wrestling movement, PJ Steven does incredible work and is our New Japan guy, honestly, and he can take you through what Takagi has meant to the New Japan brand as they make this transition. Okada's gone, Ospreay's gone. Like, they're making transition away from what they've done in the past, and Takagi's a big part of that. Takagi Danielson's going to be a great match. Shawn, who do you think wins this one?
5-star match right here tonight, but I gotta go with. If I want to go Danielson, I'm going Takagi.
You're going.
I think they give Takagi the big win.
Wow. Danielson losing at representing AEW. Wayne, do you see that going the same way?
No, it's an AEW tournament. I don't see Danielson losing. I mean, that'd be awesome. That'd be fun. That'd be a surprise. But no, I don't see it happening.
It would be a surprise, and that would mean we'd get a second Takagi match minimum in AEW, but I don't see it. I feel like it's going to be a great match. Danielson worthy enough to beat Takagi and advance in the Owen Hart Cup. That's how I see it going, at least. And then another New Japan AEW match. We got Orange Cassidy against Zack Sabre Jr. I've always been a huge fan of Zack Sabre Jr. If you had not watched his stuff, and I know Wayne's just recently got into it. Wayne, if you want to go into Peacock and go into 205 Live and see some of the work Zack Sabre Jr. did back in 2016, dude is good. And you could watch his matches for ages, just the way he gets out of certain holes, the way he, manipulates his opponent's body to put them in certain predicaments. I am so excited because Zack Sabre Jr. and Orange Cassidy, their styles just match so well, I believe. But who do you got here, Sabre Jr. or Cassidy?
I got Sabre Jr. Somebody from the Forbidden Door side has to win a match, and there's no title on the line. Orange isn't going to lose anything by losing this match. The guy wins all the time, so Sabre.
Hey, good pick right there, Shawn. What do you think?
I agree with Branch Wayne on this one. I'm going with Sabre. Like he said, Orange wins all the time, so one loss on him on this one, it won't affect him.
And maybe, and this is just wishful thinking, maybe we could get Trent Beretta costing Orange Cassidy the match because Trent has an obsession with Orange, and then maybe even get Zack Sabre Jr. to join the Don Callis family as a part-time member. I mean, it's just something to allow Sabre Jr. to have more AEW appearances. I'm all for. We have 2 more matches, and they're for the IWGP World Heavyweight title and the AEW World title. We got Jon Moxley, very synonymous with AEW. He's currently the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He's wrestling Tetsuya Naito, and Moxley's done great as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. That's something he really wanted to do after he left WWE. But guys, I'm going to just go ahead and get this off the table first. I think Moxley loses to Naito here at Forbidden Door. Shawn, this isn't out of pocket, so you can't call me out of pocket for that one. But where are you taking this night?
Naito's the heart and soul of New Japan, but I think they keep it on Mox.
Really? Why is that?
I think Mox is the guy. It just feels like he's still drawing for them. And I know, and it's hard for me to pick against Naito because I'm a big fan of all his matches that I watch. But I just think it's Mox. I think Mox is still the big draw for New Japan right now. And you can still have that belt on both shows.
Wow. Wayne, how do you feel this one going? Do you think Mox keeps?
I'm going Mox. I'm not betting against Mox. Mox is my favorite guy. My dude. He's the man. I mean, he is the epitome of professional wrestling. Just a brawler. I love that guy. I'm not going against him.
Wayne just put John Moxley in the category of Tom Brady or a Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl. Can't bet against them. Jordan in the NBA Finals. Now, if this was LeBron, you'd bet against LeBron in the NBA Finals. And then the other match, and I'm a little skeptical, and I've already mentioned this on one of our shows before, that they are doing Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Title way too early. I mean, way too early, and it's not cool because this could have happened at All In Wembley. Building this up, you just put a title on Will Ospreay, and of course, this is Forbidden Door. You should have Swerve defend the title against a New Japan guy. Really, really upset at the way they booked this match, even though this is going to be the best match on the show. By far, bar none. Everybody's in for a treat. But do you think Swerve keeps this title, or do we see Will Ospreay suffer his first loss on pay-per-view win?
Whose house? Yeah, Swerve's taking it.
Swerve's house.
We're gonna see Ospreay lose his first match on pay-per-view. It's not time for Swerve to drop it yet. This is gonna be a series. We're gonna have more Ospreay and Swerve. It might happen again in all out. But it's not happening this weekend.
All right, Wayne, I hope we get more Ospreay Swerve because I can go ahead and tell you Sunday's match is going to be an instant classic. Shawn, do you think Swerve continues to have it be Swerve's house and keep his title?
Still Swerve's house. I mean, Ospreay, you want to say this is the one that he's never lost on pay-per-view, but I'm like you, Mike. It's too early for this match. Too early to end Swerve's reign. Let it run, and then let Ospreay beat him at up there in Wembley.
Now, this is interesting. Unless I missed something in just all the stuff I'm doing, I think Will Ospreay is kind of still in the Don Callis family. Like, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like it doesn't seem right, like, so I could totally see like Don Callis, and Trent Beretta costing Orange Cassidy a match, but I could also see Don Callis trying to help Will Ospreay and in that moment cost Will Ospreay inadvertently the championship. And then we have a summer of a split between Ospreay and the Don Callis family as Ospreay tries to get his world title opportunity back. That's the only way I can see it. We'll have to see how this goes because maybe I wash this shirt again so I can wear it on next week's Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast. That will be on its new home, Boom Broadcasting. Go search it up on YouTube. It's on all our socials. We're so excited for this new endeavor, this new venture. It's going to house everything. Like, it's going to house sports. It's going to house wrestling, but it's more than just a sports channel, guys. We're going to be talking about real stuff. We might have a TV show review. We might have a movie review. We might even have a cooking show. I got to learn how to cook. But this podcast in of itself cooked. Super excited to have Shawn on the show. Super excited to have Branch Wayne. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Just bringing it on Drop the Mic. But you can go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. That is where we'll be at moving forward. In addition, we're going to be doing live recaps. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night NXT, Wednesday Dynamite, Friday SmackDown, PLEs. We're going to be doing live recaps on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. And the guy who has this whole YouTube channel, Mouth Off with Mike, is going to be leading those up and doing fantastic work. And I can announce it because I invaded his channel. So you can go follow this podcast on Facebook, Instagram at Drop the Mic Wrestling, my personal TikTok. Subscribe to Mouth Off with Mike and support all he's doing for Boom Broadcasting and for wrestling podcasts in general. But for myself, Michael Davis, Shawn Lucas, and the Branch, Wayne Thomas. Hey guys, this has been Drop the Mic. Don't drop the mic, and we will see you guys back next week at our brand new home, Boom Broadcasting. We'll see you then.